Item Number SCP-Y-031. Object Class Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-Y-031 is kept in a climate-controlled chamber at Site Y-1, within a room furnished to resemble a domestic living space. The clock remains inactive from November through September. Starting on October 24th, SCP-Y-031 will be activated, and the observation of its anomalous behavior will be documented. Personnel assigned to monitor the object must be briefed on its effects and the importance of recording any predictions delivered by the clock. During the 7 days leading up to Halloween, a high-priority alert is issued to all Foundation sites, particularly those involved with entities linked to Provisional Reality-Y-1. The clock's predictions, manifesting as black leaves released at midnight, are to be immediately retrieved using non-reactive containment tools and sent to Site Y-1's Cryptography Division for decryption. Coordination between Site Y-1 and other sites is essential, as SCP-Y-031's predictions frequently involve high-risk events or potential breaches. Personnel interacting with SCP-Y-031 during this period must undergo psychological evaluation due to the disturbing nature of its predictions. Site-wide readiness is required from October 24th through October 31st, with mobile task forces on standby to respond to any incidents predicted by the leaves. During its active period, as the anomaly becomes anchored to its starting location, transference of the anomaly will be halted to prevent inconvenient or troublesome anchor locales. Description: SCP-Y-031 is an intricately carved wooden clock standing 2 meters tall and 1 meter wide, made from an ancient and unidentified dark wood. The clock is adorned with carvings of autumn leaves, intertwined branches, and woodland creatures, suggestive of an ancient pagan design. Despite being millennia old, SCP-Y-031 exhibits no signs of wear or degradation. The clock is functional but only activates under specific temporal conditions. From November through September, SCP-Y-031 remains dormant and inert. However, starting on October 1st, it begins to tick. The ticking is only noticeable to individuals in the same room as the clock and cannot be silenced. During this period, the room containing SCP-Y-031 undergoes subtle shifts, existing simultaneously in both baseline reality and Provisional Reality-Y-1. If the room's corresponding location in Provisional Reality-Y-1 has been destroyed or no longer exists, a distorted apparition of the room manifests intermittently within Provisional Reality-Y-1, with a door connecting the two realms. From the first minute of October 24th, the autumn clock will become anchored to its current location, seemingly incapable of leaving a location equivalent in size to an average household living room. Attempting to remove the autumn clock from this room will cause it to instantaneously appear back where it was at the start of October 24th. The containment cell at Site Y-1 has been constructed to match the spatial limits of this transposition range. The closer SCP-Y-031 gets to October 31st, the more intense and disturbing the anomalies become. Sudden temperature drops, the sound of wind, and the presence of dry autumn leaves inside the room are common occurrences. By the 3rd week of October, personnel have reported hearing strange music akin to ancient pagan rituals. Starting on October 24th, SCP-Y-031 begins releasing black leaves, one each night at precisely midnight. These leaves float out of a small door located at the top of the clock and slowly drift to the ground. Each black leaf contains cryptic messages or symbols portrayed through the veins or vascular bundles of the leaf that, when deciphered, predict significant events set to occur within the coming year. Most predictions relate to manifestations or incidents involving Provisional Reality-Y-1, such as attacks by SCP-Y-029 or abductions by SCP-Y-030, though the clock has also predicted broader catastrophic events unrelated to Provisional Reality-Y-1. The predictions made by SCP-Y-031 often have a direct connection to high-risk containment breaches, particularly those involving entities that become active during the October and Halloween period. One leaf is produced each night from October 24th through October 30th for a total of 7 leaves. These leaves serve as warnings, allowing the Foundation to take preventative measures, though they do not always prevent the foretold events. Anomalous Effects Breakdown Phase 1, October 1st to 23rd. SCP-Y-031 begins ticking, and the room it is located in shifts subtly between baseline reality and Provisional Reality-Y-1. Personnel report mild auditory hallucinations, such as distant whispers and the sound of wind. Leaves may appear on the floor, and the temperature drops noticeably. The connection between dimensions remains unstable, with the room occasionally manifesting as an apparition within Provisional Reality-Y-1. Phase 2, October 24th to 30th. At midnight on October 24th, SCP-Y-031 releases its first black leaf. Each subsequent night at midnight, another leaf is produced until 7 leaves are released in total. The leaves contain cryptic warnings or symbols that must be deciphered to understand the significance of the events they predict. During this period, the clock's anomalous effects intensify, with sudden weather shifts, indoor leaf falls, and increasingly vivid auditory hallucinations of ritualistic music. The black ooze-like vines that emerge from the walls begin appearing on October 28th, slowly extending toward SCP-Y-031. Phase 3, October 31st. As midnight on Halloween approaches, SCP-Y-031's effects reach their peak. Cold winds blow through the room, regardless of external conditions, and black vines creep up the walls, converging on the clock. The final black leaf is produced at exactly midnight, followed by a brief period of silence before the clock goes dormant again until the following year. Leaves and predictions. The black leaves produced by SCP-Y-031 are composed of an unknown material resembling dried, charred plant matter. Despite their fragile appearance, the leaves are highly resistant to physical damage and decay. Each leaf bears cryptic writing or symbols, which, when decoded, provide warnings of future events. While many predictions relate to entities from Provisional Reality-Y-1, the clock has also predicted non-anomalous events, such as natural disasters or security breaches at other Foundation sites. The Foundation's cryptography department works tirelessly during this 7-day period to decipher the leaves' messages as quickly as possible. The predictions vary in nature, but they often involve imminent threats. Some notable examples include Leaf 1, October 24th, 2000, a warning that referenced a shadow beneath the stairs, which led to the discovery of a planned SCP-Y-029 manifestation at Site Y1. The target of SCP-Y-029 is currently held in a safe location at Site Y1 and has been assigned to a section of the site without any stairs or steps with 1-inch or larger gaps. Leaf 3, October 26, 2000. A cryptic phrase, "The harvest comes to reap," was later interpreted as predicting an attack by SCP-Y-030 Hallow Jack in rural Wisconsin. The attack was not able to be prevented, as Hallow Jack pursued the target across 2 states while they were being escorted via helicopter to a Foundation site for secure holding. Satellite footage caught the helicopter being violently and swiftly pulled to the ground by 2 elongated black ooze-like arms. The bodies of all involved were recovered from the crash site, but the target of Hallow Jack was missing, only to be found as a part of the Anomaly's macabre pumpkin patch at the end of October. Leaf 4, October 27th, 2000. A leaf cryptically warned, "Look not, see not," and "Dread the face in the wires," which post-analysis was interpreted as an SCP-096, the Shy Guy breach, triggered by the exposure of its image online after a post made in a 4chan forum. The catastrophic prediction of the black leaf was lessened, resulting in a drastically reduced mortality rate, though the breach still occurred, and the original poster of SCP-096's image was still hunted before the anomaly could be recontained. Leaf 7, October 30th, 2000. The final leaf contained a detailed description of an impending containment breach involving SCP-106, the Old Man, at Site 19. Despite preventative measures, the breach occurred at the exact same time that the black leaf was produced the year before, with the Foundation unable to prevent the breach from occurring. The leaves are stored in a specialized archive at Site-Y-1 for long-term study, and many remain undeciphered. The nature of the predictions has led to significant debate among researchers as to whether SCP-Y-031 is simply warning of inevitable future events or actively causing them to occur. SCP-Y-031, now known as the Autumn Clock, was discovered at the site of a dilapidated farmhouse in rural, a region historically tied to strange disappearances and folklore around the month of October. The farmhouse, abandoned since the late 1800s, had been marked for demolition when construction workers found a dusty, untouched room in the house's attic. In the center of the room sat a wooden clock, mounted on a table with etchings of some commonly known pagan runes, such as Uruz, Jara, Dagaz, and Othila, but there were many other runes and symbols not documented in any known history of the pagan practice, though clearly part of or adjacent to it. The clock was adorned with intricate carvings of autumn leaves, symbols of harvest and pagan runes of fortune, along with other unknown symbols etched into the wood. The clock was first noticed for its anomalous ticking, which started the moment workers entered the room, despite the clock's apparent age and lack of any discernible mechanism for power. Attempts to remove the clock from the wall failed, as it would reappear back in its original position within a few moments of leaving the attic, always resetting to the time it had been set to upon discovery, approximately 11:54 p.m., before quickly winding forward to the standard time, matching the clocks on nearby watches and phones. This anchor point phenomena ceased at the final hour of October 31st. Intrigued by the odd phenomenon, local authorities contacted an embedded Foundation agent in the area, leading to the item's containment by Site-Y-1. Through a series of experiments and accidental discoveries, the link between SCP-Y-031 and Provisional Reality-Y-1 became apparent. Researchers initially noticed that rooms housing SCP-Y-031 sometimes exhibited trans-dimensional properties. The room would intermittently exist in both baseline reality and an alternate dimension, identifiable as Provisional Reality-Y-1, the parallel world from which numerous anomalies originate. It was discovered that, when the clock was placed in a room, the corresponding space in Provisional Reality-Y-1 would align with it. If the building containing the clock existed or had once existed within Provisional Reality-Y-1, the room would seamlessly exist in both realities at once. However, if the building did not exist in Provisional Reality-Y-1, either due to it having never existed or being destroyed, an apparition of the room would materialize randomly within Provisional Reality-Y-1, often flickering in and out of reality, creating a portal-like connection between the two worlds. Individuals and objects could briefly pass through this unstable apparition, although such events were highly unpredictable and dangerous. This transdimensional effect grew stronger as October progressed, with anomalous vines and black, ooze-like tendrils appearing, reaching toward the clock from within Provisional Reality-Y-1. These tendrils appeared to be remnants of an ancient ritual, drawing on the clock's increasing power as Halloween approached. Further analysis revealed that SCP-Y-031 was tied to an ancient pagan ritual, believed to have originated within Provisional Reality-Y-1. The clock's carvings matched those found on ancient stone structures in Provisional Reality-Y-1, suggesting that the object had either been created there or influenced by the same forces that governed the reality. The clock appears to act as a conduit for predictive or manipulative forces, allowing it to issue cryptic warnings through the 7 black leaves that it releases in the days leading up to Halloween. The predictions written on these leaves often correlate with events occurring in both baseline reality and Provisional Reality-Y-1. This dual reality connection suggests that SCP-Y-031 plays a pivotal role in the intersection of the two realities, with its powers intensifying in the final week before Halloween, as if the barrier between the worlds thins during this period. Conclusion. While SCP-Y-031 poses no direct physical threat, its predictions are of immense concern to the Foundation, particularly due to the unpredictability of the events it foretells. Whether the clock is predicting inevitable outcomes or causing them remains unknown, though the evidence suggests that whatever it reveals must be taken seriously. Given the escalating frequency of high-risk incidents occurring during October, all Foundation sites are instructed to coordinate closely with Site Y1 in preparation for future predictions. Provisional Reality-Y-1 research teams continue to investigate SCP-Y-031's origins, hypothesizing that it may be connected to ancient rituals involving the manipulation of time and fate. Further study is required to determine the full scope of SCP-Y-031's anomalous properties. This is Director Knightley, signing off on another report at Site Y1. I hope you'll consider subscribing to stay up to date with our latest findings. I eagerly look forward to having your audience in future reports.